So I believe that we can do this shit right. Alright. I said I mustered up a plan on how I see grins. Shit's drumming down here, nigga, I see bands. This is how much watch my mouth, a nigga, I see clan. Crab say don't trust the hooker figures, I see can. But I get bitches and money, nigga, I ain't playing. Watching SpongeBob and piece of shit the nigga was saying, been praying. I hope to make it biz while I'm 19, so I can show myself that what I fucking know's not a ski. You spend 200 on shirts, say 300 on jeans. Well, the bitches fuck with me, cause she know what I mean. She know about me, majorities of the cut. But fuck the way I come up, oh, got more money than us, so that don't give her no rest. We fuck that bitch and shit plush, then we fuck again and part our ways to get it for us. Niggas cut, throat delivers, I'm more bullshit than pulpits. Why you always tryna sell a nigga on some school shit? Do this for the niggas that ain't kickin' with the cool kids. Now fuck that, this for niggas got to kick in with that cool bitch. Niggas act a fool when the teacher try to rule shit. Fuck about my face, oh I'ma be way more than rude, bitch, straight clueless. Fuck being tough for the cool kid. Nigga be you, whether all above a smooth shit, but foolish. If you see some fault and don't do shit, do words on my dick, on some all about the bullshit. I said that just because I'm a loose girl, but I'm down 100 fucking rounds. If you really tryna shoot shit, no guns. Only time I probably run is without one. Luckily I never get myself in shit without one. That applies to cap guns, super soakers all that. Strap up, let's hit the neighborhood and have a ball blast. Bitches wear your titty tops, my niggas wear your ball caps. Got the fucking pad where it's big enough for all crash. Ratio we all smash, Riri's with all that. Big blunts we all gas, high kids with all grass. Youngins old enough to feel like you ain't gotta call that. Mama at home, all worried she ain't call back. Yeah. Fuck with me. And really, yeah. I'm doing this shit for the folks. Nah, I really ain't even gotta go no further. Y'all know who y'all do. Or B, and you know why I'm doing this shit for. Whatever.
And we are live. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Please. Waiting on Amen to.
I think okay. Now we're live. The green thing it is green now.
The green. Oh, damn! She took you out first. She took you out first. Okay.
Dang, man.
Ain't that about
it?
Yeah, no, this be fine. Cause like, man, what I found was when you talk too close in the mic, it does like whoop, like it does like it like hyper like.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah,
I like
it gets too loud.
Yeah, it like but it cuts out the air. It cuts out the air pretty good. I mean,
it does. I think it does pretty good, honestly.
It sounded good. I like episode 9.
Yeah.
Is where we first started using mic.
Yep. Whatever the last one was that came out. I think
what was I about to say? I've been like watching them, man. Usually I don't like watch a lot. Like I don't watch a lot of stuff that I do or whatever.
Yeah, I like to listen to them.
Though. Oh yeah, I'm like, oh snap, just like some
pretty good.
You get just like some some road trip stuff. I mean, I like listening to podcasts when I'm on the road anyway.
Yeah, that's true. I think a lot of people listen to podcasts for like I like listening when you drive or even when you work out. Mm-hmm. It's like I've noticed that with podcasts, at least for me, like I'll listen to them and it's a good way for me to go off of my own thoughts too. About certain subjects. So like I'll develop ideas on stuff because of the podcast I watched. Yeah. You know, so like I'll listen to them and then be able to go off on whatever they're talking about, and then 30 minutes later I have to go back because I didn't hear anything, you know.
You know what I like I was gotten into but not I don't know what I say gotten into, but I've been exploring is you ever listen to those podcasts that have like there's like stories. They're like I like the mystery.
I know, like scripted podcasts. Yeah,
like they're acting and shit like that.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, they got one as a Batman one. Oh my god, I forget. I think the dude who played Winston. I think it's Winston Duke or something. The dude who played in Black Panther, from the Gorilla Tribe.
Yeah.
I think he.
Why you laughing, man?
Yeah, dude. Cause my mind goes there. Yeah,
racist motherfucker.
Yes, I can. I think we all.
Oh, that's what I'm saying, dude.
At Ramon, actually, I wanna reach me that book over there. Because that reminds me, like, I wanna share something. We talk about race and shit like that. There's a very good excerpt in this book.
Yeah.
Oh,
what's the book?
It's called, all right, this is called First Earth Battalion, the Operations Manual by Jim Channing.
What's it about?
So basically, it's pretty much how to build a community.
Huh. Interesting.
This book was from the. You ever seen The Man Who Stared at Goats?
Say it again.
The man who stared at goats, or The Man Who Stared at Goats.
Mm-mm.
It was with George Clooney. It was about the. You ever heard about the LSD project?
Yeah.
All right, so it was off of that. So what happened? So in short, I'll circle back to Jim Channing. In short, so the government was trying to pretty much create the super soldier.
Using LSD.
Yeah, using LSD, because what happens with LSD, like it literally opens up every neural pathway. Like you become more athletic, like literally all your abilities like heighten, like you become superhuman for real. So they were trying to like control that. That's why they study meditation a lot. So anyway, when they did the experiment, they found that they were performing well, but they didn't want to kill nobody. They didn't want to shoot nobody. So that's why you ever see Pineapple Express? Remember in the beginning, it was like, damn it, illegal.
Yeah.
That's how those tests was run. It was like, what? Nope, can't do this. Like, we got the ability, but we got to be able to like control your mind. We got to make the perfect soldier. So with that though, but during that experiment though, it's the guy Jim Channing. He had a battalion. He had a little group because they did studies. It was the actual study. They were trying to work out different battle mechanics, and and how to form, just better army. Like it was all military. But what happened was Jim Channing started to put together. All right, so he took the military aspect of what he learned, and then of course being enlightened, because LSD will enlighten.
Yeah.
He took that and started breaking that down on pretty much how to create our army, and as far as like communities and what it means, like because he calls it the First Earth Battalion. So it's like you're not a revolutionary, you're evolutionary. So he breaks down. He talks about chi work. He talks about movement, meditation. He talks about martial arts. There's a lot of principles. He got the samurai principle that's in it. It's a very, very interesting book. It actually it found me. A good friend of mine got it for me. But it's this. I got the reprint from the 70s, and when you look at it, it's his handwriting and stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool. Oh yeah, look at that.
Yep, it's his original.
Oh, so it looks like it even talks about how it affects your brain, and then goes into
this dude,
thinking.
bro, he goes into community. Actually,
that's very interesting.
I'm gonna read something.
Yeah.
Dude, when I read this blew my fucking mind, because this I feel like I just listen to it, and then you're gonna understand why I'm just like, wow. So it talks about like our togetherness and what each race, right? So we're going to use race for the sake of the conversation, colors, right? So you got like, we're like the whole being the fifth element. We are the fifth element. We are the being that transmutes all the energy, fire, earth. We talk about this: fire, earth, air, water, and we're the fifth element that transmutes that. So, man, listen to this. Anyway, it says it's called a rainbow power. Yeah. Right? Now, rainbow, biblically and spiritually, is a promise from God. It is the promise of togetherness, right? I mean, really think about it. If you look at everybody in the world, we put a shade by shade. That's just a darker spectrum of a rainbow, right? So this section is called Rainbow Power. It says the possible human takes the power for service from the best qualities found in each race. The black race give us our soul and the capacity to feel and taste the moment. The brown race give us our heart and the capacity to withstand the extremes with life and with heart and capacity to live with extremes with life and with each other. The white race gives us our vision and our capacity to imagine what is not and plan to get there. The red race give us our grace and the capacity to live in harmony with Mother Earth. The yellow race give us our balance and the capacity to integrate all the other dimensions without getting stuck in any one of them. Now,
yeah.
go ahead. Tell me what you think about that.
No, so it just sounds like to me it's like if you understand everybody, then you understand where everybody can help, right? Where we can help each other, right? So if you have like the visionary meets the person who can help you live in the moment,
right?
Then you can get to that vision easier,
yep.
Right? Because if you always stay in the vision, you'll lose sight of what you need to do right now. So it's like, man, I've always said this about man and woman too, is like we have gotten so far from the fact that we need each other, not that we are better than each other.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
No, like with that, and when I first read that, I remember just sitting there and was like, see, think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at this as stereotypes, right? And like, when we hear stereotypes, we get the notion of it being bad, but stereotypes is just what it is. It's just like they're just things culturally, geographically that we do and that we provide. Man, what I found interesting was when it said the black race give us our soul and capacity to feel and taste the moment, right? And if you think about everything that goes on, and like and how that energy is being used. Now take all of that, right, and flip the energy. We're talking about the energy in its pureness, right? Like, and it's just the colors. That's it. Like we know, like these traits can be within everybody, but this is just like, okay, like geographically. Yeah. Like when things get incited, the heart gets attacked. The black race gets heated, and now there's turmoil. You don't, especially here. But then when you flip it, when you flip it, right? You say, man, well, it's always the heart and soul, and they say black people more forgiving, which I do find that, and I'm like, wow, that makes sense. Because like the soul and the heart and everything, you bring that, and then the brown race, right? Where is it? Give us our heart. The brown race give us our heart. So if you think about India, and how the spirituality, the spiritual aspect of that has a lot to do with the heart, like how they speak in love and life and all that other good stuff, or different parts of the region in with the Middle East, things of that nature. It's about love and the heart, right? And think about how that gets attacked. Yeah. And then when you look at like even like the white race, and as it says, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, because the logic, like how like naturally when you hear about when comedians talk about white people, they always talk about them in like accountants, the logic and things like that. There's always a planet, but yes, with all these things, even with the yellow race, like the balance, the yin yang, giving us the insight to not look at to not take just one thing, but it's all of it's the same, just spoken in different ways, and take the principles and be the one. This is why we like. When I read this, like, wow, if we really did like put away all our differences, it's just gonna look like those colors, but it's just gonna be what it is. It's gonna be a fucking rainbow in its purest of everybody, like in their natural strengths. We all got our born strengths, we got our cultural strengths, we got our genetic strengths, and all that. Like for that to be attacked, man, it hit hard for me, because I was like, man, people be psychologically attacking people with their natural being, with their beings, bro. Yeah. Well, I think I think that's like the easiest way to oppress somebody, though. Right? Is you take away what makes them their gift. Right. So if you take away their ability to have fun or whatever makes them useful to this earth, and you then direct them and say, I need you to do this, and you take away from their true nature, you're only going to be a worse off race for it. And I don't even mean race meaning color, I mean human race. You know what? Let's take it, bro. I was thinking about this, right? Even for right now, because me and you, we don't see the color. But let's take it for color, because you got to break it down like that, then so people can break it away. Yeah. Right? So like, even to put us in the example, like both our characters. I don't give you don't give a fuck that I'm black. You don't give a damn for I don't give a damn if you white. But looking at like the base of everything and just what this kind of says, man, everything the projects that we working on, the soul that we coming behind it, and then you coming in break like what it say, gives our vision and the capacity to imagine what is not and plan to get there. And like. And that's just us being us. And that ain't saying that you don't pick up from other aspects of that, but in the basis of like, man, just what it is, like, damn, bro, okay.
It's how we can be useful for each other.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's like, in this natural period, you don't know why you, like, okay, man, I'm just good at that. I'm just like, this makes sense to me. You just do it. Yeah. And then when you allow people to just do what they do, it's like, oh. No.
That's when we all get better. I mean, and that's whenever it's like a big cycle of success.
Yep.
You know, and whenever you have an organization or, I mean, any organization that first focuses on the employees' gifts and their strengths, you know, and adhering to that, it's only better for it, you know. And ultimately, again, if we're going to use I am using a business example, you know, if you have a company and you know, the computer programmer is a computer programmer, and that's what they love to do with their life, and they don't have any other hobbies, you know, and that's the person that you want,
bro,
you know,
right?
That's their true nature. So then again, you know, to your point here, if you know that if this is breaking it down through colors, you know, and all that, and I'm white, so I can't really say it the way you said it.
No, man, but no, but like, that's the point.
Yeah.
Like, what's to say what isn't?
Yeah.
A conversation is a conversation. Be what it is. Like, fuck, like, bro, these are just words.
Yeah.
I was about to say, man, fuck these words.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Screw these words. Sorry, screw these words. Because I've literally been watching people, I'm like, bro, we really in like censored times now.
Are we?
Bro?
Man, I know. You hear a bunch of people, you can see it. Like, I'll be watching some comedians and you'll hear more groans or you'll hear like more hecklers, like they're offended or whatever.
Yep.
And the problem is now that not everyone's offended, they also feel more entitled than they did the first time around. So I think that we're going to get a lot more Karen events, which is great for social media, you know, and great for our entertainment. But
what about like talking, bro? Like,
yeah, you know,
I'm literally like, oh my God, I am not in the world to be in the censored.
Oh no. Well, here's the thing, right? We've all been through it again. We've all been through it before. The first time it happened was kind of the first time that we, in recent history, really saw anything like that happen. So, I mean, if you think about it, like the 90s, dude, you could say anything and nobody would really, you couldn't get canceled. That wasn't really a thing, you know? It's really been more of a recent thing. So my point is that even if it comes back, enough people are going to go, oh, fuck this, I don't want this to happen again, I don't care.
Yep.
So I think what will happen is you'll get more people that if they are offended, they're just going to get laughed at because it's like, why are you offended right now? Like, I think that's also some of the greatest things that I've seen. But again, going back to those comedy things that I watch, when people like get offended and they'll get, you know, stand up and make sure that everyone knows that they're offended, people are laughing at them because it's like, why are you offended? And again, I use comedy because I'm, you know, I like to attribute my gifts to comedy,
because it really is like talking.
But that's like but I really think that if you're going to see censorship really starting anywhere, that's where it starts. Because if you think about it, a comedian gets on stage and 5% of what you say is what you believe, you know, or is true. And that's just the way comedy works, right? So if we start bashing people where we understand that, hey, you don't really believe what you're saying, or whatever, then what happens to the academics who are spewing factual shit, that, you know, that is important information. There's a lot of, like this whole, of course I can't remember exactly when, but I remember there was a college, I think it was Green River College or something, community college, where this academic went there to speak to a bunch of these kids. And they all basically shut him down, saying that he had these microaggressions, which was his body language, right? So saying he used his hands like way he was talking too much was too aggressive. So they were all offended.
Shit,
right?
And I'll be a macro aggressor.
Oh, bro, listen.
But you see how I talk?
Yeah. Yeah, really. That's a good point.
Oh, my God. Go ahead. I'm listening.
No, that's funny.
Yeah. Because I want to say I'm a microaggression.
No, man, it's when people are given so much time to be entitled, they're going to take that time.
Yup.
Because if humans are anything, they're lazy.
Yup.
You know, and maybe I'm just in a bad mood today, so I'm looking at it from a pessimistic view. But it's like when you have ultimately, if your whole society is weak and you are all offended all the time, then you don't have time to worry about real things. I was watching this movie today called The Day That the Earth Stood Still. Pretty good movie with Keanu Reeves and John Hamm. A bunch of really good actors. Yeah, I watched the movie because it's a remake from a movie in the 50s.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've seen the 50s one, but I've never seen the new one. Anyways, so the whole premise is that aliens come to Earth and they're trying to save Earth. And what they've assessed is that the humans are bad for Earth. So there's a huge pestilence, right? And of course they use locusts. It's kind of biblical. It made me kind of think. I wonder if that's where the stories of locusts came from, but whatever. I'm hot.
But Vegas got a locust cricket problem right now. No shit.
There's a lot of crickets that are going on, but hold on.
Go ahead.
So sorry. With
no.
Yeah.
As y'all can tell, we go on.
Yeah, right. And so my whole point of bringing up this movie was that the whole thing that stopped the aliens in the end from taking all the humans out was that there was we change when we have to, right? So what I think is going to happen, right,
go ahead,
to tie it all together, is we're all going to get offended, we're all going to get weak, and that's what's happening. As a weak society creates weak men, and this has always been said too, that strong men create weak men, strong men create strong times create weak men create weak times, and it's a cycle, right? So we've been in these prosperous times for so long that now all we care about is what gender we identify as, right? We don't care about sustainability. Do you know how to grow a tomato? Do you know how to go hunt for your food? Yeah, I can call you whatever you want. But what happens when the shit hits the fan? I don't give a shit who you are, what you identify as. I need you to know how to make some water and how to go get that shit. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's like whenever we are the problem, and we get lazy, then we allow vulnerabilities for shit like that, right?
As you put it that way, right? This is where
no,
you're
good.
Oh yeah,
I forgot I have the tobacco in it.
Yeah,
we're doing it European style today, baby.
I like to do spliffs.
No, you're good.
What do you call it? So when you said that, this is why, and I think this is part of the Libra in me. And as I've learned and gone through this journey, I'm I remember getting to a point it's only action and reaction, and then but it has to be that you have yin yang, action reaction, cause and effect, right? It's really no way around it, right? So
chaos and peace, and
it really need each other, but it's it's not in its negative, right? This is why it's important for us to connect. But it's not negative. It takes chaos and destruction to have a renew. I mean, really think about it. To destroy something is to truly destroy it. To even bring even more to the point. I look at everything that's going on right now. Yeah, I see a lot of crazy stuff, but what I see is energy in motion. I see, like you were saying, strong men create strong times create weak men, right? So we had a very, 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 very weak point where they're forced to change. Something that I noticed and what helped me with that, because I see things that are beautiful. I'll look at chaos and laugh, which is funny because I found out in Arabic, my name means destruction.
Mm-hmm. No, keep going. I want to write something down so I don't forget it.
Oh, question. But I look at it now and I'm so this got to happen. And now in my time, I'm this is why they say get your house in order. Think about it. If you're really connected in the vibration of the earth and everything, then you will be recognized.
Yeah.
It even says when when people take the mark of the beast, whatever, God can't recognize you, and then God is in the seat. God, we are a spirit of God. We are a spirit of God. So if I taint my body with technology as we do, right? Even with our phones, like it takes us away from God, it takes us from ourselves to be with ourselves, to be with God. So if you take something that distorts your vibration on this beautiful bioorganic technology that we live on, then what destruction comes with that, you will be involved with that. But if you're in the same vibration, even in the current, like, you know how, like, man, a surfer, right? A surfer's a good one because they literally are surfing in the chaos. That means you are matched with the vibration of the ocean and the earth to be able to move in the chaos. You move like that when you're still, and you see, and you're not getting caught up in the chaos, and you see that it's just
There's
energy. There's a path. There's action and reaction, and things need to be how they are. Like, if we saw the microscopic things that went on in our bodies, we would probably like freak the fuck out.
Yeah, really.
You know what I'm saying? Like even with how hot it is, like, okay, everybody talks about, oh man, like global warming and Earth. What happens when you have a fever? I always think about this. What happens? You get hot, right? But then your temperature goes all wicky wacky, right? You don't think we ain't no changes? You don't think like like?
Well, I know there's, to like kind of piggyback off your global warming thing. I know there's a lot of research and that's done that basically states that we've had this really long period of stable weather, right, where it's not super erratic, right, and for like 10,000 years. And this is the reason that we've been able to advance as humans as far as we've been able to. Right? We haven't had any meteor hits that have been catastrophic. We haven't had any great floods that take out, billions of people. We just haven't had these types of massive weather events that could cause things like this. And what we're not used to is erratic changes in the weather. So what is going to happen if we keep forcing our hand here is Earth's going to shake us off, right? Earth's going to stay here. Earth's going to be fine. Go back to your point. When you have a fever, what does your body do? It tries to shake out the virus, right? It fluctuates the heat. It fluctuates the weather. The virus doesn't know what to do. It can only survive in sustainability in linear,
Look at this.
temp.
Look at this. This would have me out like in my journey, like meditation really helped with that. I was like, okay. I go with the logic, right? So in a sense of like, I'm gonna use logic against logic, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, okay, everything we're saying, I'm gonna use words. Everything we say, Earth is a living being. I am it. Like they say, I am an embodiment of Earth, right? Now we all have experienced erratic weather changes, because you have weather changes when you have that fever. All right. Now think of it like this. You right now, like, let's say, you Earth. Your left eye is a continent. Your hair is a bit like your hair your country, like different organs or whatever. It's different countries and organs, right? And they have different types of bacteria, all this stuff, like different regions, right? That's all working together on this Earth being, right? Now, everything that's being affected inside is being affected through the bigger vessel for whatever that vessel is experiencing, right? And then even beyond that, I don't want to get that beyond, talk about the bacteria, right? So something goes on, something crazy. Think about when you watching something and all of a sudden you got sick because it put you in a low vibration. Yeah, you are a vibratory being. Just like we are in a vibration, like Flash exemplified that. Like he can vibrate himself in 2 walls, so he's a slower density level. He's Flash.
He can control the vibration and match the vibration.
Yes, right. He can control the vibration, right? So these things happen in our bodies. 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock on the clock. Summer, winter, spring, fall, right? that the same how long an hour is the same how long a month could be in a different time zone, in a different space time.
Mm-hmm.
There are different space, and we experience these space times. Now you look at what's going on, right? They just giving names and shit. It's like, no, remember when COVID happened and everything stopped and how cool it was on Earth? How you heard?
Well, dude, they started getting water in places in Venice where there hasn't been water in like 10 years, 20 years. The Earth like literally started repairing itself. And it only took not even a year, right? We started seeing, fish where there hadn't been fish before. And they hadn't been there before because they hadn't been able to go there, but that's where they lived in the first place.
Oh my God! I just had an enlightenment. Oh, okay.
Hallelujah,
bro. Okay,
let's hear it.
Hear me.
Amen.
Oh shit!
Yep.
Okay.
He's
Okay,
convulsing.
big dog.
Let's hear it.
Woo! 7 chakras, 7 continents, bro.
Uh-huh.
Do you understand? Do you know the Earth? The United States. The United States represents the heart chakra of the fucking Earth, bro. So, bro.
Uh-huh.
Whoo! Okay, when you keep, what happened? What happens? Once the Earth stopped, it was healing itself.
Yeah.
What do we always talk about, when it comes to healing? Rest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What is the heart doing here in America? Moving. Pumping. And I was meditating in this what I'm about to say right here that came to me. Earth gonna have a heart attack. America's gonna have a stroke. If you look at a lot of the illnesses and ailments,
strokes in the brain.
Strokes.
So heart attack, you're right.
Oh, you stupid.
Yeah, you're
bro.
good. You're good.
Oh, so if you look at it right now, think about what causes heart attacks. Let's look at it.
Too much movement.
Gluttony, overeating, overly stress, no rest, thing like anything that keep anxiety.
I'm sorry. Here's my question. So, why is it then? Do you believe that there's been this push? Definitely with my generation when I was younger, and yours like maybe the middle, like when you were teenage years, high school years. Why is it that those two generations that it became cool for hustle culture? Where like maybe in the 90s, 80s, right? There was like that big hustle grind, Wall Street type thing. But it was also normal to have a job and go to the same job for 40 years, and that wasn't a problem. And there was like not as much stress, right? So why as humans did we raise this capability? Like you have to have this super high threshold for stress,
right,
to get here, right? Why is it that you have to be able to do this? Why isn't it that we can all? Right, you see what I'm saying? What is it? The rising tide raises all ships.
Right.
Right. So if I'm just if I'm the sailboat that's just trying to go through the currents, right? I'll get far.
Yep.
Right. It goes back to whenever I was talking about the dog on that one podcast. Right. You only get so far before either you get pushed off by the currents, or you've gone too far and you're too scared.
Yep.
But if you bring people along with you, if you have other sailboats, you have other people going on the paddle boat with you, then you're going to go further than you've ever gone before, because you have people there to push you, and because you also push them, and it's a team thing, right? No company, I use companies because I guess success, that's what relates to my mind, but big companies, successful companies, Coca-Cola, the reason they're so successful is their ability to synergize. Whether they're always really good at that or not is a different debate. But what's made them successful is their ability to, you do this, you do this, you do this, and this is how you help everybody, right? We are all helping the same organism rise. Does that make sense?
Oh, nigga, yeah.
So then, sorry, I have a little more. So then, I know there was a question on there somewhere.
I'm trying to remember.
No, you're good. I'll ask it at the end. But then, with that, right? If we're all doing this and there's this cycle, that raises the tides. Why is it that if you go to where the success is, the money is, quote unquote, then why is it that you have to work really hard? You have to be super, super busy. You have to have the heart attack and be super stressed out. And we've created this, right? So then my question is, do you believe that the work the job, low stress, 40 years, you get your retirement and you're not stressed out the whole time, but maybe you're not living your true dream.
Right.
Or you think your dream is money because that's what the environment has told you,
Right.
again. Then, and now all you do your whole life is work, busy, the heart pumps so you have a heart attack, right?
Right.
So
all
which
right.
one's better?
So, all right. I'll start here. Actually, so I saw something about Gen Xers versus Gen Zers or whatever, and why we get off the hook. All right, but all right. So what year were you born?
2001.
So you were born 2001.
Yeah.
Okay. I did 2001 and 2017, 2018. You're 17 years old. Okay, bet. All right, so you're in that time. All right, bet. All right, so I'm gonna just say like us that grew 88, 80s, 90s, right?
What year were you born?
I was born 88.
Okay. So go on.
You seen Stranger Things, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I thought like how I grew up and how I've seen and talked to many different people in my generation. Like I remember riding. I walked to school, rode my bike to my boy's house. We did I got stories of us, scrounging up money, like coins to go get a little hamburger or something. We had to go to each other's house to go play video games. Like literally, like, oh man, I'm about to roll over to your house on a bicycle. We got the computer. Right, we got then the social the beginning of like a lot of social networking. Now the grind aspect of it, I feel comes from like the whole sales industry, right? Because especially in America, the American dream is to have big ass house, big ass car, family, all that stuff. So that just got intensified, right? So now you got so the American dream is always attributed to some form of entrepreneurship. Like you ain't gonna have I've never seen the American dream promoted to some freaking job unless you coming out the military.
Not anymore,
shit, right?
That's the thing, right? But it used to be the other way.
Yep.
So that's my point.
So okay. So then you guys I like J. Cole's song Middle Child. You guys really got immersed in all of it, right? So y'all literally got to see how fast it is to make money because everything we saw mail to straight email to now you cash apping, right? And you guys are integrating that. So it's now let me pull back to our generation. Now we saw our parents work. Not just the normal average, without any traumas, nothing like you somewhat lower middle class, whatever. We saw our parents work. There were some struggles. So we were like, okay, no, I don't want to work for nobody. Truly, we didn't want to work for nobody either, or we wanted to live more life too. So we saw that I want to live more life too, but we're also in that grind culture as far as hard work. So we had to manually do things to make something happen. We don't really have to manually do as much today, right now. I'm looking as much as I'm getting done, we're getting done, right? So you guys are born in that. So now it's I'm hustling now with a click. So now the body is getting weaker. In that aspect, the body is getting weaker and the heart is being even more pumped up, right? So it's not that one is better than the other. What lacks is the actual work ethic because of how fast we can get things. A year is still fast to make profit. I mean, you got people making profit within 6 months to a year. In most cases, I mean, you like listen to a lot of old motivational speakers. Like I'm talking about from like the 80s and the 90s, and listen to their stories. And you hear like, oh man, I'm in this office. Like Les Brown, he got one in his office. He make no sales for like months, sleeping in his office and stuff. Like you don't hear those stories no more. But that took a type of like tenacity and grit. That's why I always say I'm always grateful for how I was brought up, because this aspect is easy. Like I was never scared to work hard. But my dad instilled that in us, but that generation did. I'm not saying that all were perfect, but just who like in my space and just kind of seeing the overall like there was values because mom and pops busted their ass, so we saw what hard work looks like.
Yeah.
But we didn't want to work that hard because we didn't get to see our parents that often. You know, so one is needed. You don't have to work. So they like that. You know, I talk about this a lot. You hear me bitch about it. Like I can't stand motivational commercials. I can't stand when people tell you gotta grind and wake up at 5 o'clock and shit like that. And I mean, do what you gotta do. Wake up at 3, but motherfucker still take a nap. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like they don't teach the balance. It's like, man, like when you hear these outrageous like programs people be promoting, like, man, and it's always $10,000 a month. It's always $10,000 a month. Like, and nobody's telling you like how much you have to work. Like, it's only the people selling are the ones with the work ethic. You're really trying to, and if you get anybody with have the work ethic, they may succeed. But now we get things so easy. Why do you think it's so like a hustle and grind nowadays means putting your camera up and shooting something? I mean, respectfully, you feel me? Respectfully, but there's no patience. Nothing. One is not better.
We've been robbed of our patience.
Well, 100%. You know, because bro, I mean, look at okay, real shit. Like, look at what we around, bruh. Like, if your life, okay, y'all, we talking about this, the firmament. Your perception and what your world is what you create. So I mean, bruh. So I remember when I got with when I was bodybuilding, and it wasn't until like after I left this coach, Don Long told me, he gave me this pep talk before I started any type of off-season prep. He's like, man, surround yourself around champions and bodybuilders and all of this. Surround yourself. I didn't get that, right? Like, I mean, I was doing it anyway. I was like, why is that so important? Bro, what we see and what we put in our heads affect us so much. Imagine, I mean, this happened many times, and we all experience this. You have a good ass motherfucking day, and you happen to get on your phone and you see something that reflects you, but you're not there, and it literally just turns your mind thinking that, oh man, this is not happening fast enough.
Well, no, so that kind of what you said about deterring your mind. Okay, let me think about this so I can organize my thoughts a little bit. Nyla's twins, they're like 13, 14, right? So they're kind of like, I guess, the next generation or the older mine, doesn't really matter. But her generation, right, has had a smartphone. Like, that's the first phone they got. Like, the first phone I got was a flip phone. Yeah. You know, there was no games on that phone. Or that's a lie. The one they had was like the one where they had the blocks and you had the ball that bounces.
The little Nokia.
You know? Yeah, those ones.
That was mine.
Or like the snake that goes around. You can't really see anything, you know.
No, it was green and black.
Yeah. And it takes like an hour and a half to text anybody anything, you know. And if you get the wrong letter, it's like, shit, you gotta like press all the buttons again.
Coffin in your hand.
Yeah, pretty much. So anyways, with that, they've had Instagram, they've had YouTube Shorts, they've had these things that we are now only realizing robs your patience, right?
Yep.
And robs your ability to even stay focused. But it also robs your ability, this is kind of a thought that kind of a realization I had, but it robs your ability to have independent thought. Because it guides your thoughts. It's like, okay, you're done with that, well, here's something else to click on, you know, and then you go down that rabbit hole. Oh, you're done with that. Oh, you're done with that. Let's go to the next thing. Instead of you having to think, what do I want to watch next? And then if you can't think of anything, then it's like, okay, let me go figure something else out to do.
Yep.
Right? But that takes independent thought. So to go back to her kids, Nyla's kind of having a problem with them that they always ask her, what do I do next? Right? Hey, you need me to do this? Oh, you want me to do that, right? Yeah, I just told you to go do it.
Right.
You know? Well, what do I do? You already know what to do. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things like they don't have that independent thought to think and problem solve. Right? So that's my theory.
Can I add to that real quick?
Yeah, please do.
Oh, because because that brought me back to what I like when we was talking about. I think we were talking about kids or something. But so you said like, so they like, oh, what do I do next? Or like they're asking for direction, bruh. Okay, I know like there's like a lot of things going on right now, and then like even kids are getting demonized and things, and like saying they don't care, or whatever. But that is actually a lie.
Yes, it is. I agree.
I had no. This would enlighten me to that. This kid that I know him and his brother since they both graduated, since they went to high school and graduated high school. And they grew up, and they lived in like a, not so great area that would be considered, the PJs, right? But dope guys. So I took the brother, one of the brothers home, and the younger one. And but when he was getting out the car, we were just talking like we're talking right now. He was getting out the car and stopped and looked at me and was like, now he's 16 years old. He said, man, bro, I mean, I really appreciate that. He's like, man, I never had nobody that I can really like talk to, or like a big brother or like a uncle or something, like to like really help me see things in a different perspective. And like those are his words, bro. And no joke, dog, like all day. And I get it. I understand this perception. I understand prejudging. All day, every day, and then everybody makes everybody else look bad. So then, like, but I was like, bro, these kids want guidance. Like, they want to be guided. You just gotta be like, yo, sit your ass down, bro. I'm gonna tell y'all, like, keep it real. Like, like, they don't want to be baby. These kids are not babies, bro.
No, they're not, and that's the thing, right? And this is kind of whenever I was a kid, this is something I used to think about. If my generation has to grow up so fast, when is the next generation gonna have to grow up? They're gonna have to grow up right away.
You was in high school when I met you. I was talking like deep stuff with you, and you was just in high school, bro. I kept forgetting that you was in high, bro.
These middle schoolers are that way now.
He was in high school, bro. But that's what you graduated with 2019, bro. And it's been what 4 years since then, 3 years since then. And then like these kids are more developed. What it is, bro. The elders, the ones who didn't, we out here, the ones who didn't stay true, it's not as far and few to guide these kids into how to be. And that's why I'm like, bro, be grateful for your parents. Be great. I'm grateful for how I don't know. I tell people I didn't have it. I ain't got no traumatic story, nothing. I got my ass beat. My parents did divorce. But that didn't affect none of me nor my brothers and sisters, and we were taught so well. Like,
do you think like that's? I don't know. Again, maybe because I'm in a bad mood, I'm thinking the pessimistic view. But it's
right.
If you think that all these kids they're looking for guidance and that's all they're doing, then it's what happens when the bad person comes along? It's like, oh, you need guidance. I'll guide you this way, and they're just okay. But my thing is like those people are easier to hypnotize.
Who's to say that goes to the beginning of what we're saying? This is where it gets hard for a lot of people because we want to see good and bad. You want something to like blame, right?
Yeah, right.
Who's to say? Like you said, all right, guidance. The dude who you consider bad, or the girl who consider bad, right? Like, why did she have to get to a point where she got to, right? She, and that little kid, that little kid who, was just seeking guidance, not getting it from nowhere, finds this great, life information is great information. But like your influence, but if that kid is being influenced by whatever information that they are being influenced by, they're being guided. Like there is some guidance there. They were wild at first. Yeah. Whether that direction is until they get to the point of self, because kids don't know themselves. Teenagers don't know. You're still trying.
You're still learning.
You're learning. that's vulnerable. Like, so that's why it's easy to manipulate. It's easy to get them. It's easy to, like, kids, they want the guidance, because if that's the case, you have kids running things. No, that we got beings here, we got people here that, man, if you're on the more higher moral standpoint of the spectrum over the lower moral standpoint, like, because it's really about morals. That's what we're looking at. Like, it's they're going to be guided regardless, and then if they don't find no guidance, they're going to guide themselves. And then what we find happen in most known cases, not saying the ones who didn't come out, like, man, came out the gutter, got it out the mud, like, not all are like that, but these are just examples of what we usually hear. Like, I've, like, with the right, that's why it's important, even like as the college, the high school students graduating, the 11th grader to the 10th grader, to, like, bro, even y'all have set examples. And then the parents, bro, like, man, bump that, bro, like, guide y'all kids to like to be the most epic version, because they're epic version of themselves. They are a extension of you. Their success is your success. It's like, once we get to what you call it, the low patience, and it's made people narcissists. It's made people self-centered. I think it's about them
because they just don't have the mental capacity to think that long about anybody else, because it's not entertaining to them.
Nope.
The only thing that's entertaining is my entertainment and the fact that I'm entertained and I'm not bored, and that's all it is. It's just trying to get through life and not feel bored, which is stupid, because we all need to feel bored. Like, that's an important part of life, is just sitting there and being still. Meditating at first, when you're learning it, can be boring, because you're like, I need to figure out how to, you know what I mean? Like, it's not fun at first until you figure it out, just like anything else, but you have to go through it. But nobody has including myself, it's a lot of it's just the patience is 100% a virtue.
And it is learned.
It is learned. I agree.
I don't ask for it. Just be it. Don't ask for patience. Oh, but people don't believe in freaking manifestation and stuff. Man, all right, well, ask for patience. Oh, you gonna get that? That one just seems like it just comes fast.
Yeah.
I now look at it like, I'm gonna just sit down. I'll wait. I'll just keep doing. I can only control what I do. I don't want to experience. I move like in flow. Like, I try to move at least. In some rhythm, like, okay, all right, downbeat, all right, upbeat, all right, it's still shit.
I think it's important though, because it's like you're finding your balance, and it's important to find balance in anything. And we talked about this before,
Bruh, I want to jump social real quick. Okay. Before I forget, because I had Brooke up with this one. So, I think about bodybuilding, right? And there's a lot of things we talk about, right? Like, and the face of bodybuilding is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, 2023, like, he's like the Michael Jordan of bodybuilding.
Yeah.
You know how, like, all right, bodybuilding is such a, like, a niche sport, a niche thing, right? And it's underground for the most part, but it's getting kind of mainstream because of social media. All right, but that's not even my point. I was thinking about, like, the Weeders and Arnold Schwarzenegger and Germany and Nazis and like World War II and stuff like that. Yeah. Bruh, I think Arnold Schwarzenegger is a spy. Is a CIA, or he's a spy.
Ooh.
Bro,
I smell a conspiracy.
Dog, yeah. I'm sitting here. I don't know, bro. I'm just sitting here. I'm laying down, dog. All right. First of all, you know why is it such a disclaimer? Y'all know us. We don't give a damn about race, none of that, brother. We be having healthy conversations.
Yeah.
All right. So to that, you know how they say, like, the small hats run the world.
Yeah.
Right. So, and, like, why is it everything that started, right, especially around here, is the small hats. Well, and then when you trace like some of your top families and stuff, somebody's related to somebody. Now, sometimes you can be related to somebody and like you're like removed because it's been so many generations. But then if you end up doing something in like significant, like you got that bloodline, like, oh, okay, bet, like that just kind of like engages you into, to whatever activities that like somebody, you met somebody and you on some, oh, okay, bet, man, oh, y'all doing this, well, all right, bet. Like now you're on you're in family because it's business now. So Bill Weeder and Joe Weeder, right? You hear about their stories, and I don't ever believe everybody's stories. I always believe some extra stuff, right? And so they are like the pioneers of bodybuilding. They went around like people would in the circus, looking for like the greatest bodies and all that stuff, and like showcase some magazine, put on a show. So again, they just started this. My question was when I'm laying down, like, man, who the fuck is Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah,
like for real, like. Who the fuck is him?
Yeah,
because they had, because bro, he wasn't like, bro, my dad.
Didn't Joe Weeder find him?
Bro, yeah, that's what I'm getting at, right?
Yeah.
That's what they were doing. They were finding like, they were like Vince McMahon or whoever like was wrestling and stuff. That's what they were just going around the country
trying to find the best wrestler.
Yeah, right. So okay, they come across Arnold Schwarzenegger now.
But he also didn't. Sorry to interrupt, but kind of some backstory. He didn't have the best body. Like he wasn't like Sergio, what's his face?
Yeah.
Who with the biceps, you know what I mean? He could do that victory pose.
That's where now in the bodybuilding industry, because I'm with you, I'm like Arnold wasn't. He
wasn't all that. So if Joe Weeder goes, okay,
that's what I'm saying, right? What the fuck was him, right? And then they had other white boys. They had other white boys, bruh. They had other white boys in America that was like better than him, way
Steve
better.
Reeves.
Way better, bro. So you go to Germany or Austria or whatever, and it's now maybe chopping it up. But, I don't know what Austria in correlation of Germany has to do, but I just think I know his dad was in the middle.
Austria was would have been a part of World War I and World War II.
Okay, bet.
Yeah.
Okay, you just confirmed that for me. And you know history.
Yeah.
So all right. So I was thinking, I was like, so his dad was in the military. Now, we all know about every country, all them superpowers all try to create.
He was in the military too, wasn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
His dad was. He was.
And Arnold wasn't.
Okay, I didn't know. Okay, okay.
So more to your point.
I said in the military. Now remember, Hitler was trying to create like the perfect specimen.
Yeah.
Right, and even us, like the super, Captain America is a real thing. Like most of it, the LSD project, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking, this is entertainment purposes only.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I'm like, well, if his dad's in the military, he was doing experiments. Like, have you seen Arnold when he was 14 years old?
Yeah. Yeah, he was buff as fuck.
Glenn, ain't nobody saying that he was.
Especially not a 14-year-old back then.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, Mark had a impressive body for what he was, right? Okay. I asked again, who is Arnold Schwarzenegger? So you look at pictures, his dad was in the military, they do this project. You got this 14-year-old boy, 15-year-old super savage, whooping up on people, right?
Yeah.
Then the Weeders, small hats, was like, yo, you're the one. This dude comes here, right?
Yeah.
Becomes a rock star.
Yeah.
Becomes governor of California. All his movies, Terminator, Judgment Day, Eraser, always got some end of days. Always got some apocalyptic things to it. So my question is, who is Arnold Schwarzenegger?
We don't know.
And then and what I'm thinking, he's a super spy.
For who?
Now, bro, that's where I started to question even more. I was like, well, if he's a super spy now, like how compromised is he? Or did he do his part?
I think he did his part, and now it's he's just reaping what he gets now. He's reaping what he sowed, I guess. But
this had me ask another question.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody done set the blueprint for from point A to point B to anything. Like people, like there was a point where the black actors didn't act. So somebody pioneered that from whatever starting point, and it opened up the path. Right, boom. Many top dog paths have been opened up from small categories. Why is it that bodybuilding, one of the IFBB Pro, doesn't have a pathway from Mr. Olympia to movie star to at whatever literally Arnold set the path.
Yeah.
Why is that path not being duplicated? Bro, I'm like, man, kiss my ass, bro.
Yeah, there's really never been another bodybuilder.
Kai Green, he really ain't Mr. Olympia. He's like he I would say he's the undisputed Mr. Olympia, and he went to go do acting and other stuff. Like he got deals with Nike and things of that nature. But it's still not to the capacity of Arnold.
Yeah.
I mean, this dude went from in his drawers to in a suit running a state. You feel me?
Yeah, I do.
So I was just like, I mean, something fun to think about, but I was like, I literally just asked the question, and who the F is Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah.
Bruh, and I think he's a super spy. Well, and then what probed that was, because a lot of like German scientists and like Nazi scientists and whatever were brought over to the U.S. after like World War II and stuff, man. Yeah, like all those smart ass people.
Well, Operation Paperclip.
Yeah, bro. Like they were all they were all learning from each other. That's why like.
Well, no, we brought in a bunch of Nazi scientists right over after World War II that were like, one of them who was the head of NASA after World War II, who's the one that helped us get to the moon, had a scar on his face that SS soldiers would get because they would duel with swords with each other, like in the military.
That's crazy.
And this is like what they would do, like soldiers in the military would do at that time. And he was like a part of the Nazi, like he was a Nazi, And a lot of the scientists that helped us get to the moon were Nazis. So then a lot of like the fake moon landing conspiracies come from that, saying that a lot of these Nazis came from there and they were like the experts of propaganda. So then you know what I'm saying. So then they could come over here and teach us about it, and then we could fake the moon landing because
that is true. They even said that it was Hitler who was like the master of propaganda.
Well, it was his advisor.
Oh yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. I'm trying to remember his name. I remember he was a big fat dude, white. He was like also the leader of the Blitzkrieg. And he would actually lie to Hitler all the time and tell him, no, we're doing way better. Like, we're doing really good. I don't know why the papers are saying we're not doing good, but we're doing awesome. Because he didn't want to get yelled at or probably, executed by Hitler. And so it's like, they come here and they have that. They're the experts of being able to turn a whole society against another race like that and starting like before Hitler, the Nazi organization really wasn't. And there was, but it really wasn't what it was until he became the leader of it. And to become the leader of that, he had to take a lot of other people out to become the leader of the Nazi.
To be a psycho man, but don't psychology?
Yeah, he's definitely a psychopath for sure. But it's not even psychopath. He's got to be like a psychopath, narcissist, all of them, because
you gotta be to be like to because like that goes even back to like good or bad, like whose ideology is wrong and whose ideology is good. Ideologies favor those that it
favors the mass.
That's it.
And that's the thing. Like going back to even morals, if you want to get philosophical about it, are just whatever the populace agrees with. If we all think it's okay to murder, then it's okay to murder.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
If we had a purge day, like that was a thing, then it would be a thing.
Yep.
Our morals that would be out the window that day.
I mean, we see it. It's funny. We see it on. It's sad that we have to see it in such destruction. But like when there's a badass storm, that's when you see. All right, I don't give a fuck what color you are. Let's get on this boat.
You don't need to die.
Get on this boat. But then on the flip side, that same energy, we create the destruction and fight each other. And not bringing nothing. And
we are our greatest enemy.
Oh my God, I was laughing. At this start because it like you said something I thought about as far as like we're gonna eventually have to like come out of it because it's now becoming redundant. I said, man, if you really think about it, I think I did say this last week. I don't know. I feel like I talked about this a lot. I said we worried about what people's sexes are, right? So they got like the the trans community, like so the whole LGBTQ now is like really beefing.
LGBTQF.
Yeah, like all the letters are now really beefing now.
Yo, the letters are beefing.
Yeah,
now?
the letters are
They got the whole alphabet.
Oh, and so
Damn.
it's how like and right now trans got like they got as far as like the propaganda or whatever with it is, it's the most talked about. It has the most like fight for it. So they're using trans to represent all the whole thing. But then I remember there's women that protected those trans rights, but now like the trans are like now getting more rights than women. So now like women against the trans, and it's like does it get to a point where you're really gonna have a fight of like every individual against like somebody who is like totally so you got all this flip flop on one side, and then you got the separate on one side, meaning like male, female, black, white, whatever. Like you got the rainbow, you got the interchangeable, like I don't know, the inter rainbow, and you got the actual rainbow, and the two rainbows gonna clash, and it's gonna be like the one rainbow of togetherness, right, of people, and then then that's gonna get to a point where they realize they're people, and then people's like, oh my god, you're gonna that fight is really gonna end to be a bloody fight. It's the Civil War, what it is, but then it's gonna get to a stalemate, and it's gonna be like, yo, we just got played.
Yeah.
It's gonna that's seeing the energy in motion, bro. That's
we just got played. Well, the thing is, we played ourselves, right? And that's whenever we have so much emotion behind our decisions, it's so easy to be manipulated. So easy to be manipulated because all it is I have to agree with you. I just have to agree with you. I don't care if I actually do or not. But no, it's like the easiest way to manipulate someone with high emotion is agree with them and just go, okay. And then whenever you realize something they get mad about, agree and make them mad about that.
Yep.
And they're going to love you more for it. So then ultimately at the end of the day, if you understand that and you understand that psychology of that type of person, you can make them do whatever you want, and you can cause them to hate each other. And, that's how you bring nations down. And that's how you bring organizations down.
Yep, bro. It was something along that what was it? Oh, God, I just lost it. I was trying to hold on to it because you had sparked the thought. Damn. No, it's all good. I was gonna come back to me.
No, you're good. Well, actually, I want to. This will make this a segue.
Yeah.
So, do you have any more quotes by John, the teacher?
Bro, I had John. So John in South Carolina right now. I'm trying to see like.
Well, I remember the last one you said was the one that they don't care.
Yeah.
And these kids, they're. What was the other one? The girl said that they were they're lost or whatever.
Yeah.
Or they don't have. It doesn't matter. Like they're already. What did she say?
Oh, I forgot. I know now. This did happen. One of the kids popped up behind John. Like she was like.
Popped up behind him like
look, no, right? Oh yeah. No, put her arm on. It was like, you don't need this job. She was like, why do you even try? They don't want no help. Just go enjoy your life. I was like, damn.
They don't want no help.
It's the kids, bro.
But they already know that's true. Kids don't give a shit, man. They don't care.
But like, if they don't give a shit, then who else?
Wow, someone almost got punched. That scared the hell out of me. I almost punched myself in the face. Jesus. Yeah, for real. Kimber would have messed me up. Okay. Oh, no, you're good. No, you're good. All right, this is a question I have.
Yeah.
So, I'm not even going to set this up. I'm just going to ask the question. Do you believe that black people enjoy violence more than white people do? And when I say enjoy, like you see two black people fighting, they're happy about it. Like they're like, yeah, let's get it going.
I mean,
but then like two white, like they think about it first, like they'll start and you have to push them together, and they start hitting.
I think it's both because, like, I know, like, I remember back home, I know some white boys who was like they were.
No, that's different. Those are crackers. Those aren't white boys. That's different.
They still, I mean, then
there's different.
then
They got twang in their voice.
Then that question needs to be:
Those are angry white people.
do you feel like crackers or N-word?
Yes.
Oh, like,
yes.
dog.
Say it.
So it's the same thing.
You're right.
It's the same thing.
All right.
Cause, bro, I know. I'm telling you, they would like look forward to it. Like, man, they would purposely get drunk to get ready to go fight. Like, I think it's just a
like
thing.
Irishmen.
Yeah. It's just like they ready to fight. Like, but they cool about it, man. Nah.
And you realize too, like it's always, why do you have the black guy? Why do you have the black guy? Oh, I just, I got in a tussle.
Bro, I remember being
Man,
oh my God,
so racist. Where my mind just went with after I said we're gonna tussle. Yeah, never mind. We're good. I just had to realize it. I am, bro. You said it earlier. We're all racist,
bro. Well, I remember being in high school, and I was part of this. I was part of this youth fraternity. Oh my God, man, y'all! You listen to your mamas. when your mama's trying to save your life, listen to them. We what you call it? I was part of this youth fraternity, and there was this little probate. You want some? There was this probate. When there was like a little probate party, and it was in like not the best part of town. And mom was like, "No, you're not going." And I was so mad. I was so mad that I didn't get to go. Yeah, bro. We had step practice the next day, and all our brothers, bro, all of them had black eyes, busted lips. Yeah. And man, me and my mom had gotten to it. Like I had left. I was at my boy house, and I had went home. I said, "Man, I'm sorry. I appreciate it, cause them boys got their asses beat." Nah, I don't look for no fight. Everybody trying to fight. And then, cause always, it's in the hood, nobody really can't take a loss in the hood. We was in Lafayette, and this small ass club called Grant Street. Yeah. Boy, me and my boy Chris went up in there. Me and they like football, and Chris big, like So and it's this hot. It was like it looked like a juke joint, a wooden juke joint, bro. And it was crowded. It was one of you know what I mean by crowded. I do. It was hot. Yep. And let me tell you something. Black people in heat don't mix. Like we get mad. We turn into Super Saiyans, bro. Why do you look? I know you remember in school when it got hot down here. That's when most of the fights started happening. Bro, stop it. But getting up
that's when there's like 4 of them a day, bro. There's weave everywhere. Bro. Some like slinging around. Yeah, bro.
It gets hot. Nah, I think that's a equal yes on both. Who likes what more? No, I'd have seen it, but we equally so. But I would probably say
equal. You really? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, hold on. Sorry, my phone turned off. Okay. So this is actually interesting. I was over hearing these two guys kind of talking the other day, and it was this guy who was a cop. This other guy was a military guy. Right. And it was just kind of this thing that he said, and the military guy said to the cop guy, he goes, something about whatever, and he said, "I'm sorry." And the cop guy goes, "Apologies. You don't apologize. Apologies are a sign of weakness." And it's like. Me personally, I disagree with that. That apologies are a sign of weakness. So that's all. I wanted to bring that up and then just kind of hear what you were saying.
I mean, I don't know what the context.
Exactly, I don't either.
Yeah.
And maybe in that situation it could have been, but it's still like in the grand scheme of things, I don't know.
Maybe maybe in that context. Like the guy, like you said, the police officer said, "Apology sign of weakness," or the military guy.
And the cop said to the military guy, and again, the reason I bring up what their jobs were is because with those jobs comes a certain type of personality, right? So I think it was just interesting from that type of personality. Yeah. His philosophy is that apologies are a sign of weakness.
Maybe like that could have been and that can go a couple of different ways. If you got like two warriors talking, right? They could be talking about something on the battlefield, right?
Then a
mindset. you know, overall that statement, you know, I'm like you, like that don't the weakness shit. It's harder
It's hard to apologize.
It's
Man.
hard to apologize than it is not to apologize. It's easy to not apologize.
Yeah.
Like apology, yeah. Like so, like again,
and that's why I bring it up because it was that
because you just caught that, and I know, like you said, you brought up their profession. So that could have been some warrior talk.
Yeah.
But on a, you know, for that statement, man, please.
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, man, for people wouldn't have no problem forgiving people.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the truth, man.
Like forgiveness is hard.
Yeah, it is. That forgive and forget, you know, that's a hard thing to do.
It is hard, bro.
It's true. Let's see here. Oh yeah. So there's this thing that I've kind of realized with, again, going back to the newer generation.
Yeah.
And how, you know, that little girl pops up behind John like a crackhead in a bush, and says, you know, these kids they don't care, they're lost, right? What I'm seeing is that this generation and mine are choosing to do more like just additional education rather than going to college. And what I mean by that is getting certifications or getting your technical degree, like going and getting some type of plumbing, that type of stuff, trades. So what's funny is that I remember when I was younger, it was pushed to college is the way to go, right? And then as I got older, it started to become, well, you pay for college $200,000, you come out, you can't get a job.
Right.
So then it was like, well, you need to become an entrepreneur, fuck school, don't even need to go.
Right.
But I think it's just interesting that this is what's happening, is that it's like, okay, maybe college is not the answer, but then I need to go and get these certifications or these, you know, alternative education, the streets, you know, if you will. And,
School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah, the School of Hard Knocks. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's just an interesting shift that's happening. I'm just curious as to your...
Yeah, like, dude, because time is becoming more currency than currency being, like, the current currency.
Yeah.
Like, we're, like, that is the last bit of measurement that we have, that's pretty much we got left when it comes to, like, what we deem, what society deems credible. Like, I mean, to get a certificate in something takes, you know, I mean, and you can look these, you know, that whatever certificate that is, I'm pretty sure you can look at that class, see how many hours it is, however many hours like it takes to graduate school. You probably do that in a year. I mean,
yeah,
and it's still a certificate. And you're learning a lot faster, so the speed of learning isn't 4 years. It's really not even 2 years.
Yeah, I agree.
The speed of learning can be a year.
Well, I've always heard like this from a lot of entrepreneurs that are like highly successful from a young age. They always they're like the 3-year plan, right? And it's like a premise. It's not really you have to go for 3 years, but it's like a premise of the first year you learn, you take that year to learn. And in the second year, you take what you've learned, and now you practice it.
Yep.
And then the third year, then you expect something to come out of those practices, right?
Yep.
So, but to learn and master, quote unquote, master something only takes a year. It doesn't take 10 years, 10,000 hours. It takes a year.
Yep.
And really, it takes 10 minutes a day. I was watching this study. It takes 10 minutes a day for a year for you to master something more than like 98% of the population.
Yep. Because how your brain processes something and how you figure out the new pathways to make something more efficient to you.
Yeah.
Like, who's the master of mastery? I mean, who's the measure of mastery?
You are.
Right?
Yeah.
You. Like, shit, all right. And your work gonna speak for itself. Like, well, damn. You know?
That's true. And the thing is that I think what's lost as well is just the life experience. And I think that this is a result as well of having to grow up so fast that you put in the background, you know, how important it is to be wise.
Yep.
And that only comes through life experience. You know,
and
people that are young can have a lot of life experience, but it's just that's like gone to the background. It doesn't matter anymore to have life experience.
I do see a lot of y'all, a lot of younger generation, like life is experiencing. So I would so on the flip side, what I also seen is that a lot of kids like 20 years old, 19, 20 years old, they're like going out and just traveling the country, living in their vans. And people are trying to like demonize that and make it sound like all you learn from society. Like you're learning how to like I was like, bro, how can anybody like down that? You in your van, like, okay, you chose to like, man, live the earth. So like you're in your cunningness has to come into like how to, survive and how to make money. And like we got so many means, like man, people making money online, they just got their little hot spots or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like they learning how to like go to like make things and like shit. If shit go down, bro, y'all gonna be asking the ones living in their vans, how to do stuff.
That's the truth.
Because like don't demonize that. I think that's knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Like where you get your knowledge from, like, and if it's conducive to life and expansion, like who's to measure that? Like other than your experiences. Like man, like I think this is a good time because. I won't ever like. No, learning is important.
Yeah.
How you learn is up to you. There's no one way of learning, so you don't have to go to college if you don't want to learn.
Yeah.
If you're learning, do whatever you are learning that is going to expand you in the greatest version of you, in its most purest version of you. That's what you do. Because what you're going to school is learn. If I'm learning something, then I am in school.
Yeah.
If I'm learning something, then that means I'm taking time out of my day that I would anyway.
You never stop learning.
You never stop learning, right? So if you wanted to take a algebra class right now, and like I'm not like having like there's different experiences, like experience, but like if you want to have school experience what you want to experience. Just like this whole notion of there's one way to do something, and it's been debunked, and I don't know why people still. Like
follow
that shit.
Hold on very tight to it.
I'm like, what the fuck? What? Like,
why?
The school.
And those people too that hold on so tight are also the ones that are telling you it's broken.
Yep.
And they're like, that system's broken. You're right, it is broken, but you still got to do it.
Check this. People's laughing at DeVry University. People laughing at all these online colleges and stuff. Now these major colleges are promoting their online.
Dude, all they do is online. I go to school. I go to class to do online school. Exactly. What's the point of that? A waste of everybody's time.
So I'm literally paying
to go to class to do online school. I don't know. My teacher's there, but gets pissed whenever I go and ask them a question because they're not a teacher. They're just a supervisor.
Yep.
That's all they are now. They're just someone to make sure that you don't break shit.
Yep.
That's it.
Nowadays, to get a chick, everybody's trying to get a chick. People are unhappy, man.
Yeah.
That their heart is overworked.
Yep. Yep.
You about to see, bro? We about to see it. I don't know what's gonna look like, but you're gonna like. That's why people.
It's a scary thought to think about. It's like, well, what do we do now with that information? The people that realize that it's like.
So this is what we do. Bump that solution. One it's already given. Take care of yourself. How do you take care of yourself, man? I really think it's important for people to be fasting right now. Clean your system. If you're eating a lot, if you're doing a lot, if you're moving a lot, do the opposite now. Fall back a bit. Give your body time to heal. Give your mind time to heal. It doesn't mean stop. It means slow down. If you got a treadmill on 25, bring that bitch down to 10. That's what I mean. The motion doesn't stop. Bring the heart rate down. That's what we need to be doing. That's how we protect ourselves. Once the body is like, look how many people like gone from like heart failures and all this sicknesses stuff going on. Bro, I'm like, are y'all really surprised? It's a slow burn, slow death.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Sorry, not sorry. Like, look at we got shows like My 600 Pound Life. My dude, what? The moment they
what do you expect?
Come on.
Yeah, you're right.
The moment they get sick, it's over with.
Yeah.
Like when they get really sick, it's over with.
They don't have an immune system. It's over. They ate it.
People don't realize, like, bro, right now, your heart beating. There's thoughts going in and out. You're breathing, kidneys pumping, liver breaking down shit, like blood's moving. Like you like even small twitches. Like there's so much movement happening right now.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, and that's just internally. And then we add more on top of that.
Yeah.
That's why I do feel like I feel like these kids are a special group. Because they're like, no, we have to live more life. I want to see more of y'all.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. think we're only gonna get better for that.
Mm-hmm. Yup. Yeah, bro.
All right.
I gotta when I next, so I gotta on this next one.
Yeah.
On this next one, I gotta like we gotta put the musicians on, bro. There's two dudes in my apartment. I gotta let you meet.
Yeah.
But we gotta start promoting. We gotta start putting
Let's
them
do
on
it.
there, bro.
Yeah, we'll start doing it.
Because we got some like if y'all got any music, if y'all got any art, anything that y'all wanna
promote,
you know, hit up Swollen Nerd Academia, Swollen Nerd 2 at gmail.com.
Yep,
Swollen Nerd 2 at gmail.com. I will put the
or even just DM us on Instagram.
Yeah.
At Swollen
Nerd. At Swollen_Nerd.
Yeah.
Shoot your head.
All right.
I'm good, bro.
Yeah,
bro.
me too.
Shoot your head, man. I hope y'all being well. Hope you good.
Right.
You good, man?
I'm good. I'm real
good.
good. I'm always good.
Me a little tired. I've been like lethargic. Like
Yeah, me too. I think you're right about the fasting. I think you're right.
Fasting helps, man. Fasting, like think of it like this. Fasting, just like how the water was clean, the air was fresh when we had to be on lockdown. Fasting is kind of the same thing. Like get the body, clean. Like it does a lot. Like we owe the body to not give it give it
So much work.
Yeah. Give it some water.
Yeah.
Make sure you got some minerals. Fast. And it helps clear your mind.
Yeah.
It helps if you're really trying to excel and expand. Like fasting helps because it just helps break down barriers that you're having to go through physically, and then man, you just find out that you're like such a you just get better. It actually is a good way to walk into yourself and to make sure that you're you're not getting sick. I mean, we can't hide from what we're surrounded by, but what we can do is take extra measures, to make sure that our immune system is good, that our mind is good, that our and that we're healthy, and I really think that's giving it nothing to only what it needs, and then continue to live your life.
Yeah,
for
sure.
Fasting I would definitely do it. 2 days, 1 day, 2 days. Do 1 day if you've never done it before, and then take it from there. Shit, you might end up finding it. You might even doing a month, didn't even realize. Whoa, what's wrong with you? I
found eternal peace.
Yes.
It was
I am sunflower sunshine.
Yeah.
Shoot you. You got anything, bro?
No, I'm done.
For sure, me too, man.
Yeah.
Man, guys, I hope you have a beautiful one.
And thank you for anybody that listens to this.
Yes, man. Really appreciate it. 100%. Hope this is awesome. Anything you guys want to touch on?
Yeah.
Leave a comment.
Yes, definitely leave comments. Definitely, we appreciate the likes. We appreciate the subscribers. We did get some new subscribers, so we appreciate you guys.
Yeah, buddy.
So yeah.
All right, big dog.
Yeah.
Thank you. And this is the Plebs.
The Plebs podcast. Thank you very much.
I'm Damar D-Star.
E-Money.
And we are out. Nerd out.
See ya.
Dude.